My Pantry Challenge peeps. I hope that you are having a great day. This is week 4 of the Pantry Challenge, and welcome to my kitchen here. We're gonna look at this amazing bread that I made this week. I had actually made it a couple of weeks ago, but this week it turned out even better than ever before. So let me get that for you. It is that easy peasy French loaf bread, and look at that color on the front and the back. And it absolutely is beautiful on the inside as well. So what did I do differently? Before we get into that, I'm gonna show you some video of how I put it together so you can kind of see what it should look like, because this turned out perfect. So let's take a look at that. So tonight we're having ravioli, and I'm making this easy peasy French bread that I made in week 2. So I have my yeast, my salt, and my honey. And you might hear in the background that I'm getting my water ready. I use a candy thermometer to get it to 110, and my tap water, the faucet, even though it's filtered, it doesn't get it to the correct temperature. So we're going to try boiling it just a little bit and see if I can get it to the right temperature so I don't kill my yeast. It's a little too warm, so I put a little bit of ice cubes, a few ice cubes in there, trying to get it down to that 110. We're at 120 now. So as you can see, the ice is melting and it's going down. While that is decreasing in temperature, I went ahead and got my cup of flour. I'm gonna need more than that, but I did go ahead and put it in my dry cup to get it ready. And so hopefully pretty soon, it's getting lower, we'll be able to put this in, and then we're gonna wait until this mixture turns bubbly. We'll look at that in just a few minutes, but we're just waiting for this water to get a little cooler. We're almost there. Okay, so this is perfect. It has a bubbly foam on top, which is what I'm wanting. And now we can add the flour to it to begin that process. I usually add about 1 cup at a time to make sure that I'm getting that consistency. You want it where it will not stick to your fingers, but stick to each other. So what I did differently than before is that I did not use a loaf pan. I had tried this a couple years ago, and I honestly, when I made it 2 weeks ago, I could not recall if it was better with a loaf pan or without a loaf pan. And I will say it's better without a loaf pan. Because in that loaf pan, although it was that, baked enamel cast iron, what was happening is that when I got to the same spot throughout the bread, there was some of that yeast dough that was not completely cooked. And so it wasn't getting the heat that it needed from the oven. Another thing that I did is that I used a butter knife, like a table knife, to score the top rather than a perforated knife. That allowed it to get a little deeper of a cut without changing the uniformity of the bread. And then I took about a tablespoon of unsalted butter, melted it, and glazed that on top here, and it got that beautiful color on the top there. And this bread is the best bread I've ever made, I have to say. It really turned out well. I also learned that my oven here, it's an electric oven, does not, you have to use the longest cooking time for all my recipes. And so when I did the 20 minutes that the recipe suggested, I'll link that video above so you can find that recipe for this bread. I added 2 more minutes, and that is what made this bread turn out wonderful. So my house smelled amazing, and this bread was great with some ravioli that we had last night. So what did I make this week? Very few things. It was my birthday week, yes. Celebrated my birthday. So Monday I was in a different city all day in board meetings, and they had a dinner there, and then my husband surprised me with this amazing birthday cake. I'm going to show it here so all the board members could enjoy that. That was a super big surprise. He usually doesn't get one over on me, but he did this time. Then Tuesday after work, we went out and celebrated my birthday at a barbecue place here called 4 Rivers. If you ever are near one, you need to taste their amazing barbecue. It's really, really good. And then Wednesday, we were at church with the kids and I ate with them. So Thursday, I learned that lesson that I was really tired at the end of the week. But I came home and used up that ravioli, which I'll show you here. The brand that I use, I had some pasta sauce in the refrigerator. So all I had to do was make this amazing, easy peasy French loaf bread right here. Super easy. And tonight is Friday, so we are supposed to go out for a date night. That's not related to my birthday. So we are at the end of the first month of this pantry challenge by Three Rivers. And I am thinking that I'm gonna go ahead and do February. It was so successful. I used a lot of my pantry. I learned a lot of things through the process. And I really need to get rid of some of the produce, or not the produce, but the canned items in here, because I'm planning on learning how to can this spring. So I'm gonna show you this before shot of what my pantry looked like at the beginning of this pantry challenge. And then I'm gonna show you what it looks like now. So let's take a look at what I'll have. Quite a few of the spices here. I'm wanting to get rid of the store-bought and be able to create my own from things in my garden. So I still have quite a few of that. Still have quite a few of my baking items. In that bread recipe, I used some locally harvested honey, and rather than sugar, and it is a beautiful mixture. It tastes wonderful. It's not overly sweet at all. So then we come down to this here. We've noticed that we have fewer boxes of the macaroni and kind of pastas here. I still have a little bit of the condiments. We were gifted quite a few for Christmas. But what I've really pared down are the canned goods. I don't have 8 cans of cream of mushroom soup anymore. I know you're proud of me, thank you. So I've pared down this quite a bit. And then we come over to kind of our cereal and snacks here. And I've gotten rid of a lot of that, used a lot of it up. So as you can see, I really could use another month in this pantry challenge. So I'm gonna go and do that for February and see how much more I can use up so that I'm preparing for my spring and summer harvest. Did I go to the grocery store? Yes. How much did I spend for our family? Another week of nothing. The grocery store was for my mom, who needed some things for her assisted living place. And so it was great to shop for somebody else and not have to shop for myself, because we have plenty for this next week. I want to show you something, kind of what I call a kitchen experiment on something. And I'm really pleased with how this is turning out, because quite frankly, I was very unsure of how this would actually turn out. I am growing lettuce. Let me show how you can do it too, by using heads of lettuce that you purchase at the grocery store. So let me show you that progress. Discard this every day. We've been doing some work out here, so that's why it's dirty out here. Sorry about that. But you're supposed to discard it every day. I do not. It's every couple of days that I put it in here. And we rinse off this kind of nub and then put it back in clean water. So after this begins to root in a couple of weeks, then you can put it in soil. But I could harvest this for a very small salad. But I'm so excited that I learned how to do this. So we'll see if it actually roots, but I'm really, really pleased with something new that I learned through this process of the Pantry Challenge. So thank you for coming along on this journey of this January 2023 Three Rivers Pantry Challenge. I really appreciate the accountability that you provided for me, and also just seeing some of the things that I have done with our freezer, refrigerator, and pantry items. I hope that you'll come back next week to see what week 5 brings for us, as I'm continuing on through the month of February to be able to use what we have and also learn some new skills. So until next time, I'll see you in the next video.